What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Godzilla Battle Line video, and today is the day that most players, I don't want to say most, but most players who bought the Battle Pass are getting Rainbow Mothra today. I say most players because some people bought the Battle Pass, but they might not log on today, so they won't have them. But for those of you who did, you got him today. So we're going to talk about him as a leader. If you want more in-depth video of him as a unit, that was yesterday's video. Try not to sneeze. That was yesterday's video. But today we're going to focus mostly on him as a leader. Now, when we review the leaders, there isn't like a ton to talk about. It mostly comes down to like what their attack speed looks like, are they AoE or not, and how decent is their ability. Because for the most part, all the leader stats are the same-ish kind of across the board, unless they get like a special tweak from Toho, which we've seen before. But Rainbow Mothra does hit AoE, right? So he can hit multiple targets with his regular attack, and he attacks every 2 seconds. So DPS pretty solid. His range is it says his range is long, and his search range is wide, and his reach is long. So I'm not really certain where on the scale of long range leaders he hits. I think something closer to GMK. But he does all right for AoE with the 2 seconds. He's not doing like a ton of damage, but with the 2 second attack speed, he's pretty capable of defending himself. Now, his ability defensive scales we have to talk about. So this is a preview of what it looks like. You give everyone the defense boost that he gives as a unit. Defensive scales cost 3 with a 100-second cooldown. So that's... I like my 3 cost abilities to be a 90-second cooldown. I feel like that makes the most sense. For every second, you should get 30 seconds, right? But this is a little bit higher than that. It says nullifies attacks on self and allied units in a circular area around self once. So that's what we saw here. People have been misusing this ability all day. I've been seeing people are popping this ability when their units are on the other side of the board, thinking that it's going to boost their characters up. It's only going to boost the characters up that are close to you in a very, very similar way that Mechagodzilla's 70, what is this, 4 leader? If this would click, the way he does it right here too, they have to be within a area and they get that boost. Same exact thing for Rainbow Mothra, and a lot of people are messing that up today. So that's on them. But you could give a big push here, all of this, and you'll rock. Additionally, the ability also applies to self, so to the leader. On stream 2 nights ago, you can go back and watch it, we dodged an absolute zero cannon by hitting this ability. The enemy Kiryu lined up that absolute zero cannon, they fired it, we hit this ability, and it gave us the damage nullification. And it blocked the absolute zero cannon, and all of my units that had this ability also blocked the absolute zero cannon. So now we have another leader, just like Kamen Rider, that can avoid the absolute zero cannon for 3 energy. Wild stuff. So Kiryu leaders, better watch out with all the Rainbow Mothras, because if they're watching this video, they'll know how to deal. So make sure if you're fighting a Kiryu leader and you're a Rainbow Mothra user, just hold that boost, right, for when you see overtime, because they're going to try to absolute zero cannon you can dodge this. Really great. And this isn't like Kamen Rider where you have to time it right to get it to work. As soon as this ability goes active, I think you have this damage nullification perpetually, so you could be hit with this, use it right before they do the boost. You don't even have to be in the animation for this, and then they'll hit you, and you'll be fine, I'm pretty sure. So that's a big W there. Additionally, you can give this to a lot of units in close proximity. So you see here they give it to the Kamakuras and Anguiras. I had given this to Biolantes on London, Destroyas, Leo, Caesar, Gigan 04. The tricky part is making sure that all the units are around you in that circle area so that they can receive the boost. Not a super great tool offensively when your units, there's nothing in front of you and they're just going to run up the middle or run up, because you have to put them in the middle to be close to the Leo, or Rainbow Mothra. So if there's no enemies in front of you, your character's kind of just going to keep walking unless they're slower, and you have to time this right. And then you can give it to them. But this works best in overtime when it's like neck and neck and you have a bunch of units on the board, they have a bunch of units on the board, and then you pop this ability. Sometimes negating one shot of damage is the difference between a win or a loss. And we've seen that a lot with Jet Jaguar Singular Point in the past, and now you can kind of give that to everyone, so that's big. This is a really great defensive ability. You could probably use it 2-3 times in the match if you're lucky. You can use it to avoid Kiryu leaders. I think you can use this to avoid the Ava 01. I think you can use this to avoid the Ava 01 health drain. I'm not entirely certain. I actually haven't seen that, but if Ava 01's ability works like Absolute Zero, I would be shocked if it didn't also get blocked by this ability. So overall, as a leader, I think he's a decent enough pick if you want to run him as a leader. I think that personally, for me with leaders, I like to run leaders with more offensive capability rather than defensive because I play offensively. So I kind of want, you know, those damage boosts or the speed ups or the any kind of boost to the unit. 1 point, you know, damage negation to my defense is not something I'm super concerned about personally because I play defense pretty heavy anyway. However, I could see more reserved players liking this form of play style. But if you don't want to use him as your leader, you could use him on the field and still give your defensive push that boost. But with the leader, it's like a very similar thing, this leader with GMK reminds me of, where this leader, it's like, cool, you can, after 100 seconds, you can give this ability once to whoever's in that ring. And like with GMK, after however many seconds, you can do the damage down. But you know, when this Mothra on spawn, gives that boost every time. When GMK spawns and dies, he gives the debuff every time. So, you know, it's a decent ability on defense, but when you compare it to like, oh, well, the unit does it every single time, you're probably going to end up wanting to choose the unit over the leader. I don't particularly think this is going to be meta breaking. The meta isn't in shambles, but it definitely is a rough time for Kiryu leads because they're added yet another leader that can avoid the Absolute Zero cannon. So I'm going to get some games in with Rainbow Mothra as a leader, and I hope that you learn something from those battles, and maybe I can entertain you for a little bit longer. Alright, Baby's Protector. We're getting it today. So first things first, what's the hand looking like? Earth, larvas. I think we'll probably end up dropping Earth. I mean, we could. There's his Earth. I wonder if he shoots him right down. I mean, we have a handful of pre-evos, so let's get Biolante out first. I was gonna say, I wonder if we could just get all the little dudes out first and then buff them with the ability, just to give them like one extra free hit, you know. But that Batra is getting evolved for sure. We're getting our Biolante up, so in a second we'll be able to Biolante and Leo this side here, while he's got to deal with possible Destroya and my Earth, unless the Earths collide, and it doesn't look like they will. So we could do this, and we could do this, and keep him distracted with the Kamacuras, and hit him with these two goobers. And I think we are good to go on the Earth, and these guys stay alive. So he took down the Batra, which is great. The what's it's called is up next. Okay, so he's gonna go after him. We're gonna put this thing back up. Come on, Chunky, let's go. Ah, there we go. Blocked it. All right, so Caesar's coming up. Not super worried about Caesar, because we could do this and just block it. Not super stressed about that. And he's training my lead. Come on, dog. You're better than that. I know you're better than that. Now, is this Mothra going to be able to kill my Earth? Didn't look like it. Did not look like it. Okay, so we got Destroya on deck. We got Leo right here. They're definitely going to try to take down this Earth. So what we're going to do is we are going to put Leo here, and we're going to put Destroya here. Make them choose where they are going to want to go. Choose your own adventure. I mean, they could just throw a bunch of... Markalite Cannon. Not going to matter, because Destroy is going to get the evolution anyway. I don't really need to dimension tide them yet. But Destroy is doing the Lord's work over there. He's going to take down this Markalite in a second. So we'll put him up. We'll do Biolante. We'll do these guys. And then watch, we'll do Save them that free hit from the fucking trains. But that's a good example right there, actually a good talking point of the ability is taken away in one hit, right? So if you get trains, dimension tide, whatever, that ability just immediately leaves, whether it come from the leader Mothra or it came from the unit Mothra. It takes one hit. It takes one singular hit to have all of that stuff be removed, all the damage nullification. Same way that you can use trains on Jet Jaguar, and it removes the thing from him. This blood just keeps hitting me with trains, but it's not going to work. But yeah, so you could have a crazy big push like how we had, and just like a ton of power on the board, and then just get trains, dimension tide, whatever, and it's over. So keep that in mind. I know, everyone hates to spend that 3 energy and then it gets immediately wasted, but unfortunately, that is what it is. And he got that Rainbow Mothra out not fast enough for the damage boost because I was able to hit him. So Biolante's coming up. He's going to take him down. Let's do Mothra here. Caesar's going to hit my Earth, but it shouldn't really matter. This guy's relying on trains pretty heavily. But we should get him here. See, look. That Gigan just didn't take any damage. And that's because that Mothra gave him that boost minutes ago. And we hadn't hit him since. So he got that free boost. Okay, so keep that in mind. With your Mothra lead and your Mothra on the field. That you can give that boost out. And it'll stay on the leader. It might not show it on the leader stats. Like on the little symbols under their health bar. But it is there. It is working. So keep that in mind. All right. We have another Mothra. So Mothra on Mothra violence. Our hand is not looking incredibly impressive right now. So let's just try to get some of the pre-evos on the board. We could throw them that damage negation right away. But I do not think that would be reasonable at this time. They got Batra. We'll let them evolve into the Batra. There's a Leo. So Leo, too late to get that kill on the Destroyer. But they are going to definitely stop my perfect form, which is going to be fine for us because then we can just use the perfect form later on and be able to send him up the way and have him evolve somewhere around here. There is a Godzilla Earth right there. We have ours waiting on deck and our Destroyer, so we're about to make them choose whether or not they want to combat my Earth or my Destroyer. There's Kamacuras right there. So that's pretty much expected. Level 40 Kamacuras too. So keep that in mind. But we got them all with him. There's Batra right there. Okay, they're going to go for the Mothra. You know what we could probably end up doing? Because he's not going to go for my Earth, is he? Okay, so we could put the Kamacuras there. So blocks the Leo. And then we'll send these 2 Goobers up to deal with the Earth. And so while they are doing that, and that Leo is distracted, and that Earth is about to go down, unless he pops his heals, I'm sending Destroyer up on that side. I could have given, honestly, the heal to him, but if you give the damage negation to the evolution units like Destroyer or Shin Godzilla, and they have to travel the board, and then they evolve, they actually will lose. They will actually lose the buff when they evolve. So it's better to wait on the evolutions that stay on the field than use it immediately. Pro tip. I figured that out yesterday, and it's come in handy. So a lot of the times I'm not like, oh, why is this character? And he gave up. All right, well, excellent battle. There you go. I don't even think I popped that Mothra ability once, but we had plenty of opportunity to do it. But yeah, I hope you learned something from that battle at least. I didn't get to use the ability, but it was a good battle nonetheless. Alright, so my final verdict on the Mothra leader, Rainbow Mothra. I think Rainbow Mothra is a fine leader. I really don't think that it is the most optimal leader. I mean, the ability works once and can be taken away relatively quickly. I think if you want to use a Mothra as your leader, you should use Mothra 92, the Imago. It is so good. That heal is phenomenal, especially this season with Wakasa, Godzilla, and Earth being around in the meta. This Mothra, I much prefer as a unit. That tends to be how some of these leader videos go, where I like them better as a unit. I like this one a lot better. When it's a unit, you get that damage negation on spawn every time. On this, you're paying 3 energy, waiting 100 seconds to use it again once. So, like, if it's on spawn and then gets taken away with a Dimension Tide or Trains or whatever, it's not a big deal because you can just put it back. But if you use the leader ability to get that done, and then they take it away with Dimension Tide or something, it feels a lot worse because it feels like you put a lot more resources into it. But don't let that stop you from trying them out. I thoroughly enjoy him as a unit. I think as a leader, maybe the right team is yet to be found for them, and then they could see some pretty good arena viability. But I think that there is a much better Mothra currently in the game as a leader. So that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.